give you praise. Say this morning I woke up and I looked in the mirror and every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't wanna act too high on my tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, it's a beautiful day, Don't fuss and fight, let us unite. We got one life, so let's it's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day, So yeah.
Right? Eh?
Say this morning I woke up and I looked in the mirror and every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't ever wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So in everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, it's a beautiful day, Don't fuss and fight, let us unite. We got one life, so let's it's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day, So yeah, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, won't be dismayed. When I see the clock ticking away and things are not in place, everything in life happens for a reason. Disappointment comes with a lesson. It's for me to get wiser, got to work harder. In the end, it will get better. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day, Please don't fuss and fight, let us unite, So let's make it right. It's a beautiful day, It's a beautiful day. If you got life, then you've got praise. You may not have much, but you're living day by day. You can't have faith and don't wanna work. Get up off that seat and put that brain to work. Hey, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It may not be the way I want it to be, but I thank you for every situation that made me good and bad friends that came into my life, and those who are still here today. Lord, I thank you, yeah. 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 Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, it's a beautiful
Me kuma me kian. Coffee fee for taking for and fanny Japan.
What I'm doing.
Come on, everybody, get your feet happy. Let's go. Come on. Where my islanders? Can some of y'all run down here to the front real quick? I gotta know who's in the building. Where my islanders? I need y'all to run down here. Come on, let me see you. Come on, Jehovah, say it.
Jehovah, you,
Say it.
I trust
In you.
in you.
Say it, y'all.
Oh Lord, Jehovah, you,
I trust. Say it.
I trust
Show me how to do it, y'all.
in you.
I believe. Say it. Say it.
I believe you.
I trust.
I trust
Come on.
in you.
Oh, Lord.
Oh Lord, Jehovah, you,
Where y'all at? Come on. Come on.
I trust in you.
I believe. Say it.
I believe
You are the God of miracles.
you are the God of miracles.
You are the God of wonder.
You are the God of wonder.
You are the God all powerful.
You are the God of power.
I believe. Say it.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
Say it, y'all.
I believe. I believe.
Come on. Let your feet get heavy. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Somebody make some noise in here. Come on, catch it, Jehovah.
Jehovah, you,
I trust
I trust
in you.
in you.
Oh, Lord, say it.
Oh Lord, Jehovah, you,
I trust.
I trust in you.
I believe. Say it. Everybody say it.
I believe you.
I trust.
I trust
Come on.
in you. Oh
Y'all
Lord,
got your part over here.
Jehovah, you,
I can't hear you. Come on, say it.
I trust
Say it.
in you.
I believe. Say it.
I believe
You are the God of miracles.
you are the God of miracles.
You are the God of wonders.
You are the God of
You are the God of powerful.
You are the God of power.
I believe. Say it. I believe. Say it. Say it. Say it.
I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe.
Now everybody get radical for 30 seconds. Come on. Dance on the devil's head. Come on. Come on. Come on. Y'all ain't radical enough over here. Balcony, I can't feel ya. Move your feet. Everybody, let's go. I see you back there. Balcony, y'all gotta come on. Hey, come on. So long, bye-bye. trouble. Goodbye to my pain, y'all. Somebody wave me bye-bye. Somebody wave me bye-bye. You ain't welcome here. You ain't welcome here. Goodbye to my trouble. Goodbye to my pain, y'all. I can't hear you up there. Somebody raise it up, say. Somebody raise it up, say. You are the God of miracles, hey.
You are the God of miracles.
Ah.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Miss Evans.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Miss.
Afternoon. All right, we're going to make a start to our meeting. Miss Harrison will do devotion for us. Go ahead, Miss Harrison.
Are you hearing me? Good afternoon, everyone. Is everybody hearing me?
Good afternoon, Miss Harrison.
So we're
Yes,
just
Miss.
going to take a few minutes to just have a short devotion. We always have to ensure that we involve God in everything we do, and everything we do will go how it's supposed to go, when He's at the center and He's at the front of everything we do. So this afternoon, our theme is, what is love? What is love? So the writer Jeannie Williams tells a story about a 5-year-old boy named Joey, who was asked by his kindergarten teacher to draw a picture of what loves mean to him, or something that he loved. He drew his family, and he drew a red circle around it. He wanted to write a word, but he didn't know how to spell the word, and so he approached his teacher. He said, "Teacher, how do you spell?" Before he could finish the question, the teacher told him to sit down and not to interrupt the class. Joey folded the paper and stuck it in his pocket. When Joey got home, he saw his mother preparing supper. "Mom," he asked, "how do you spell?" She cut him off with, "Joey, can't you see I'm busy right now? Why don't you go play outside?" That evening, Joey also approached his father. "Daddy, how do you spell?" His father interrupted him without even looking up from the newspaper. "Joey, I'm reading right now. Why don't you go outside and play?" It was more than 20 years later when Joey, now Joe, sat with his 5-year-old daughter Annie in his lap. They were looking and laughing at a picture she had drawn of her family. Suddenly, Annie jumped up and ran into the kitchen. She returned a moment later with a pencil and positioned it over the top of the picture. "Daddy, how do you spell love?" Joe looked thoughtful for a moment. He gently gathered Annie in his arms, guided her hand, and she formed each letter. "Love," he said, "is spelled T-I-M-E. T-I-M-E. And that word is time. Don't you agree with Joe? When we tell our children that we love them, the words carry a hollow ring unless we back them up with actions and in truth. God loves us so much that He sent His Son to die for us. He cares for us so deeply that He makes Himself available to us every moment we pray. Our loving Lord is always ready to spend time with his children. When our kids seek us out, we must be ready and willing to do the same. And our scripture this afternoon is taken from 1 John 3, verse 18. It says, let us not love with words or tongue, but with actions and in truth. Let me read that again. Let us not love with words or tongue, but with action and in truth. So parents, we know, and even teachers, we know that we have a lot of things doing, but we can't truly say we love unless we can show it. We can back up those words with some actions. We have work and we have all these things to do, but we also have to take time to spend with our children. Just as how we are the children of God, and he makes time for us. When we pray, he listens and he answers our prayers. It's the same thing. We have to make time for our children, and that is my encouragement for us this afternoon. And I'm just going to pray. Bow your heads while I pray. Lord, we come before you this afternoon. We come as your children, and we know that as children, we also make mistakes, and we're not perfect. So I'm asking you, Jesus, to teach us, continue to provide for us, continue to protect us, continue to keep us, and continue to guide us. Because without your guidance, we can do nothing that we ought to do. And so, Lord, I pray you continue to show us the light. Show us that without love, without action, we can't truly say we love. And so I pray, God, that you continue to teach us how to love our children, how to love ourselves, and how to love others. Because love is so important. It is love that helps us throughout the day. And so, God, as we look to you right now, we say thanks. In Jesus' name, amen. And I want to encourage us once more that love can also be spelled T-I-M-E, which means time. We have to show that we love and not just say it. All right, and that's the end of our devotion this afternoon. Mrs. Evans.
Amen, amen, amen. I want to thank you, Miss Harrison, for such lovely devotion. Yes, love, T-I-M-E, time. Parents, I want to hear you say time. I want you to unmute, and I want you to hear you say time. Time, yes. Yes, time is love. Time is love. So we learned something today. Thank you, Miss Harrison, for doing our devotion for us. And at this time, I want to welcome you all, our meeting. Just give me a second. All right. So I am tasked with welcoming our parents, teachers, students who are on, our guest speaker, and so to our board of management, our guest speaker, our teachers, our parents, pleasant evening to you all. Today, I take it a pleasure to welcome you to our grade 5 PTA. Welcome to our guest speaker, Mrs. Gordon Riley. Yes, Mrs. Gordon Riley, who took the time to be with us. She accepted our invitation to grace us this afternoon with her valuable thoughts. I also want to welcome our principal, Mrs. Barnes Wilson, vice principals, Miss Althea Green, and Mrs. Natalie Johnson. Welcome to our Eagles, the Eagles of grade 5. We have Miss Bennett, Mr. Cook, Miss Harrison, Mrs. Nunes, Mrs. Saunders Reed, Mr. Sterling, and our PE teacher, Miss Brown, guidance counselor, Mrs. Brown Davis. We want to welcome you. Welcome to the other teachers of the Ocho Rios Primary School who are with us this afternoon. I welcome our highly esteemed parents. You are the reason for the meeting. And so We thank you for coming out online, ready with your torch to go light your world. We look forward to working with you. And once again, welcome to everyone. God bless you. At this time, we are going to have our icebreaker by Mrs. Nunez.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Glad that everyone is here. And so what we're going to do
Good
right
evening,
now.
teacher.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for your response. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take you into the classroom. And in the classroom, especially at grade 5, we love feedback. And so I'm going to ask a few questions and see whether or not the parents have been doing their homework for the past few months now that school has started. So we're going to go into mathematics, and the first parent student, because you are a student today, just for this moment, the first student parent that can answer the question first, I'm going to ask you to type it in the chat. All right. I'm going to see who has been keeping abreast with what their child or children have been doing so far. So the topics that we're covering, so it's going to be a very, very condensed 3 months, very condensed 3 months. We're going to do it in 3 minutes. So the first question is in mathematics. 2 questions. Number 1, what is an angle? What is an angle? When I'm in class, I normally have my Jeopardy timer going on. So looking out for the parents to respond. I'm sure some of you are asking your student, your child, what is an angle again? Okay, so we have from Galaxy A10s to everyone. An angle is, let me just check. An angle is where the vertex meets. All right, so in my class, we say kaboom. All right, we see from the Lawrence family, an angle is a degree. All right, are there any more? Very good, Lawrence family, kaboom also. Wow, we have Nicholas Arthur's coming in with the figure formed by two rays meeting at a common and end point. Awesome, kaboom. We have Orville's family saying an angle is the space measured in degrees between 2 intersecting lines. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Well done, grade 5. Well done. All right now, so I see that you all were warming up. So now that we're hot, I expect the answers to go a little bit faster. All right, well done. So now the next question in mathematics is, what is a protractor used for? What is a protractor used for? What is a protractor used for? Come on, bright parents. Come on, bright parents. What is a protractor? Oh, measure angles. All right, here it comes. Here they come, these bright students. We have an angle is the space measured in degrees between, wow, here it comes in. Sorry, that's the wrong one. A protractor is used to measure angles from Miss Rosalind Cameron Blair. We have to measure degrees. The Lawrence family is very hot. Devonique is a protractor is used to measure angles. Juliet Cousins to measure angles. Well done, well done. Kaboom to all of you. Well done. All right, now we're moving quickly to language arts. And so now I would like you, thank you, the Orville's family. I see that, well done. So now we're going to language arts. Let's see, parents of grade 5, if you've been paying attention. What are 3 parts to a paragraph? What are 3 parts to a paragraph? Do, 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 do. Oh, we already have boom, boom. All right, I don't see any answers yet. What are the 3 parts of a paragraph? Please write it in the chat. I can see by faith those fingers moving quickly. All right, not sure what that means. Topic sentence, supporting sentence, that's only 2, Miss Rosalind. Topic sentence, detail, concluding sentence, topic sentence, supporting details, and concluding sentence, and it goes to the Lawrence family and also to Orville's family, the Ellis family. Well done, kaboom. And I'm so proud of them because they come from my class. So Mrs. Nunes is doing a great job. I'm being a little biased, but well done. So we have the 3 parts of a paragraph, which are, and Galaxy A10, awesome, main idea, supporting details, and concluding sentences. Well done, well done. All right, quickly, we were going to science. So in science, one quick question. How is heat formed? Thank you, Devonique. We see that you have your answer there. Thank you. All right, so let me ask the question again. So the question is, let's say it this way. What is heat? What is heat? Thank you, Juliet Cousins, for answering. Thank you. So we're at science now. What is heat? Wow, Nicholas Arthurs came in with the form of energy that is transferred between systems or objects with different temperatures. Well done, kaboom, excellent answer. I'll give about 3 of you a little time because I know that you're in the middle of typing. If you can come up with a different answer, that would be great, very good. Orville's family saying heat is transferred from a hotter place to a cooler place. Excellent, right out of the notes, very good. Someone has been paying attention. Javier is saying, or Javier, I'm sorry, the form of energy that is transferred between systems or objects with different temperatures. Excellent, well done, kaboom. All right, so we are almost finished class. Class will be dismissed in 1 more minute. We're going to social studies. Thank you, Galaxy A10. Heat is the transformation through conduction, convection, and radiation. Awesome answers, awesome answers. All right, so the last and final question for our class today is coming from social studies. What were the last words of Sam Sharp, our Jamaican national hero? What were the last words of one of our Jamaican national heroes, Sam Sharp? All right, Nicholas Arthurs is saying, I would rather die upon yonder gallows than live in slavery. Kaboom! Yes, those are the most powerful words, the last words that Sam Sharp said before. Yes, go ahead, Galaxy A10S, right behind. Whoa, they're coming in. Excellent. Yes, all of these answers are his words. Excellent. Jalen, excellent. Devonique, very good, very good. They're coming in, they're coming in. All right, now. So now, what I would like for you to do, thank you all students for being in class today. It was a pleasure. I can see that you are all learning. Thank you to the Orville family. I see your answer. Very good. We had a well class today. Make sure you go home and do your homework. I will be checking tomorrow. I want all of you to unmute your mics and I want you to say, I am a dynamite, kaboom. So unmute your mics. Let me hear you. Unmute your mics, please. Everybody unmute your
Dynamite, kaboom!
Dynamite,
I'm a
kaboom!
dynamite,
Dynamite, kaboom!
All right. Now,
I am a dynamite, kaboom!
all right.
Yes,
So now
Dabi.
that was
Dabi, come put me back on. Okay.
that was the Canadian way. Now we're gonna do the Jamaican way. Me a dynamite, kaboom!
Me a dynamite, kaboom!
All
Me
right.
a dynamite, kaboom!
All right, parents. Well done, well done, well done. See you all tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Teacher, the class was fun.
You're a good participant.
Thank you, Mrs. Nunes. Me a dynamite, kaboom! Come on, come on, come on. Well done, well done. Me a dynamite. Parents, we have to find some time to laugh, right? Right, parents?
Yes, miss. Yes, teacher.
Yes, we have to find some time to smile. Yes, man, smile a while and give your face a rest. Me a dynamite. You know what's a dynamite? Oh my God, full of power. Yes. All right. At this time, yes, we are going to welcome our principal or our vice principal, whoever is going to bring us the report tonight. Go ahead. Madam Suzette Barnes Wilson. All right, Mrs. Johnson. Not hearing Mrs. Wilson.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Evans. Are you hearing?
Yes, I am hearing you, miss.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good afternoon to you and parents all. It's indeed a pleasure to be with you online this afternoon. Not sure, my devices are all acting up. But it's a pleasure to be with the grade 5 family this afternoon. I really want to take this opportunity to greet everyone, all the parents and students that are here and teachers. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We are indeed blessed to have you with us as parents who have decided to partner with us at the Attire Primary School. Indeed, a 5-star school of excellence. Parents, we are delighted to have you this afternoon, and I know that the grade 5 family, they would have already prepared a wonderful session for you, so you will learn, you will garner much from what will be said for the rest of the afternoon. So I just want you to note that we are on our side, we are doing all that we can to assist our students, and we know that the grade 5 teachers, all the teachers in part, are working really hard to ensure that your children are engaged on a daily basis. We know and we hear the phrase, the common phrase that parenting did not come with a manual. But you know, in prayer the other day, the Lord reminded me that's not really true. Parenting came with a manual, and the manual is the Bible. If we follow the Bible and we go according to how the Lord has instructed us and grow the child, you know, we will not be ashamed at the end of the day. We know that these are hard times, harsh times for some. Many persons would have lost family members. Here at the Attire Primary School, we have lost some parents and would have lost some grandparents from the student level as well as from the teachers level. We'd have lost persons during the period of this pandemic. However, we are not daunted. We are saddened, but we are not daunted because the Lord of hosts is with us, and we can really pull on the strength and the comfort of the Lord Jesus Christ. I want to encourage you, parents, as you continue to navigate this new norm. You just continue to rest in the arms of the Lord Jesus. We know that we really need you to pull hard on your children, especially in this time. We know some of you are back at work, some of you are at work while we are in this meeting now. We salute you. However, we want you to go a little further and be intentional that when you get home or on the weekend or early in the morning, as I will do at my home, is to check in with your children. Do a check-in every day, every other day. However best that you can do it, do it. Check in, check their classroom to see what is happening. Ask the questions, yes? Inbox the teachers to find out. Be in the know. Parents, you are the greatest influencers. And so we want you to be that influence at home. When you're not at home, to monitor them as you would have done last year whilst at home. But you're back at work now. We want you to let your children know that, you know, it's not only Jamaica eye, but it's a mommy or a daddy eye. You're watching, you're listening in, and you are interested in him, in your child's work. So we want you to do check-in. Check-in. You have access to the classroom, the Google Classroom. Check in on the Google Classroom, parents. And we also want you to know in everything that here at the Ochias Primary School, we have 3 guidance counselors. And if it is that you want to just talk with someone, we are here for you. My vice principals and I are here, and our 3 guidance counselors. Give us a call, 974-2432, or send us a text message at 320-0003. We are here for you. We are partnering together, and we know all hands are needed on deck. So parents, as you brace for what is ahead, we have not yet gotten the green light to come from the, in the physical space. However, we do put all the things in place. We have put all the things in place that are required from our level. So in case we are asked to resume face-to-face in January, then we will be ready. So keep your ears open and continue to keep it safe. And remember, we are in it together, and we're in it to win it. We are eagles, and at Old Cheerios Primary School, we soar high. So God bless you. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Mrs. Evans.
Thank you, Mrs. Barnes Wilson. Thank you. Come on, parents, put your hands together for our principal. Yes, their virtual hands. Yes, we thank you for gracing us this afternoon. Yes. All right, at this time, our guidance counselor, Miss Brown Davis. Mrs. Brown Davis. All right. All right, we're going to move on. When she comes, then because she has prayer engagement. All right, parents, we are going to be hearing from our guest presenter this afternoon. And at this time, I call on Miss Bennett, Miss Shauna Lee Bennett, to do our introduction. Miss Bennett, go ahead.
All right, good afternoon to our parents, to all our stakeholders, a part of this grade 5 family. A pleasant good evening to you all. Welcome again to our grade 5 sensitization session. And at this time, I'll be doing the welcome of our guest speaker. Her name is Mrs. Harleen Gordon Riley. She hails from the parish of St. Mary born in Lucky Hill and bred in the Gael community. She is a Christian. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we are
Yes,
hearing
teacher,
you.
we're hearing.
Yes, we're hearing
Okay.
you. We're hearing, miss.
Okay, great. Sorry, I just saw a notification on my device. So I was wondering if I wasn't being heard. Let me go again. Her name is Mrs. Harleen Gordon Riley. She hails from the parish of St. Mary, born in Lucky Hill and bred in the Gael community. She is a Christian, wife, mother, friend, neighbor, advocate, and an educator. A dynamic, sociable, compassionate Christian and humanitarian who devotes her life to the nurture of all human beings to become the best version of themselves through the name of Jesus Christ. Guided by the philosophy, life is not what people say it is what Christ makes of it. She revolves her being and credits her achievements to the Lord Jesus Christ, whom alone is the sovereign God. Since 2009, Mrs. Gordon Riley served as a teacher of religious education, guidance counselor, and currently serves as an educational social worker in the education office assigned at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Region 3, St. Anne. Her educational journey began at the Gael Basic School and evolved throughout the years, following the scaffolding provided by the skillful educators at the Ocherous High School, the Michael University College, and the International University of the Caribbean. Throughout her professional and academic pursuits, Mrs. Gordon Riley has obtained several academic accolades to include inter alia, the prestigious design of Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology, and was the recipient of the most outstanding performer in her cohort. She also holds a diploma in secondary education level and in guidance counseling. As an active member of the Discovery Bay community in St. Anne, she is a member of the New Life Apostolic Church, where she serves as secretary. She is the co-founder of the Women in Support of Each Other WISE movement, Women of Discovery Bay, and co-owner of the St. Anne bookstore. She deems it a blessing to work with families, to assess their needs, and to respond to them through her behavior modification programs and social services that are accessible within the school and homes across the region. When she is not engaged as a professional, she enjoys the company of her immediate church family, who without them, all the previous mentioned achievements amount to nothing. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone online, I would like you to put your virtual hands together as we welcome to our platform to speak to us and to encourage us, Mrs. Harleen Gordon Riley. Go ahead. Please go ahead, Mrs. Riley. You are welcome to our platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Bennett. Thank you very much. And I would also love to add that Mrs. Bennett is also my past schoolmate. So it's a pleasure to see you, Mrs. Bennett, and to share the platform with you. I am getting accustomed to your new name. And so, it's always good just to see persons and familiar faces. I encourage you to keep your cameras on, as I might not be familiar with the other faces, but seeing your face will keep me steadfast. Colleagues, teachers, Madam Principal, parents, and I know some of our students are hiding in the background, so students, also to you, good evening. So we are not yet at 6 o'clock, but very soon we are in the evening. I want to share this afternoon with you and to make this very moment memorable, worthwhile your time. I do trust that I live up to your expectations. I know that when we have ministry officials, we tend to have our bars very high. So I do hope that I'll be able to live up to your standards I did hear Mrs. Barnes-Wilson proudly announce her 5-star school, Mrs. Barnes-Wilson. And I did enjoy your little moment of encouragement right there. I want to say thank you for inviting me. And I trust that you are able to hear me and engage me at this time. We are 46 strong this evening. And so I hope at least 50% of the 45 now devices logged into this afternoon sessions will engage me throughout the session. My slide is not very long, my presentation. It's just about 10 slides, 9 of which I will be elaborating on. Are you able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes, miss.
Miss.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. So once again, for those who are joining now, and for those persons who have been here since the start of the session, I am Harleen Gordon-Riley, educational social worker within the guidance and counseling unit. Now, this month being November, we pause to celebrate the involvement, the support of our parents. And of course, that means you, our parents, our main guests this afternoon. We acknowledge the fact that you have been our backbone in the system, the business of education. We know that without you, then school is not possible. Yes, because we need the students. The students need you, but without you, there's no student. And so you play a part, a very integral part to the process of education, continuously evolving and remaining relevant. Now, the theme for this Parents Month celebration is positive parenting, impacting generations. And I want to repeat that again. Positive parenting, impacting generations. Now, know that as parents, and I will say we throughout this presentation, because as a parent, I share in the highs and the lows of parenthood. We know that as a parent, we are imparting what we know how to, and as best as possible, to our children who are the next generation. So we know that what we have will not remain or die with us because we would have taken the time to impart. Now, it is very important that whatever we impart to our children, it is worthwhile the time spent as a parent. Make sure that it is positive, whatever we impact our children positively. I am competing with a few mics, but I trust that our able co-hosts will mute those mics for us as we go through this session. It happens, and I will accommodate. Now, so as I was saying, we really need as parents, our main focus really is to impact our children positively. We want to leave an heritage, and as Mrs. Barnes-Wilson alluded earlier, we often say that there is no manual to parenting. Yes, we often say that and we embrace it too. But as Christians, as born-again believers, we know that we always have the words of God to be our guide always in any context that we so desire. This afternoon, we will definitely refer to the words of God too in this presentation. That being said, let us move directly into this session. Now, parents, I have on screen here, just that you're able to see some disclaimers. Now, there are sentences or statements that you will read, but not just to read them. I want for you to actually declare them as statements that you need to make, concerning you, concerning your work, your responsibilities as parents. So I will be asking six parents to volunteer this evening to read and declare the statements here displayed. So six parents to declare these disclaimers for us. Who will be the first?
I'll go ahead.
Please.
I am blessed with the gift of parenting.
Thank you very much. Who was that? Mrs. Barnes?
Blair.
Miss
Rosalind
Blair.
Cameron Blair.
Thank you, Mrs. Blair. So I am blessed with the gift of parenting. Thank you. Can we have another? 5 to go.
I do not know it all, but I have answered the call to parenting. That's Mrs. Evans.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Mrs. Evans. Let's go. 4 more to go, parents. I hear a mic opening.
There is no right or wrong way to parenting. I will keep learning.
Very good. Can we have the second reader who was about to read that statement? You can go ahead. There is no right or wrong way to parenting. Go ahead.
It is exciting to raise the me in my children.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It is exciting to raise the me in my children. Thank you. 2 more to go, parents.
With my children.
Remember to mute your mics.
My children is the best thing I have ever done.
Wonderful. Falling in love with my children is the best thing I have ever done. And who will take the last?
Keep calm. I am on my own parent.
Very good. Keep calm. I am my own parent. And for those who could not read or could not hear, or for those persons who didn't hear when those persons would have read, allow me to reiterate for you. I am blessed with the gift of parenting. I do not know it all, but I have answered the call to parenting. There is no right or wrong way to parenting. I will keep learning. It is exciting to raise the me in my children. Falling in love with my children is the best thing I have ever done. Keep calm. I am my own parent. Now, these disclaimers, parents, should help to guide you as you continue your efforts to master the art of parenthood. It is a skill that we were not born with while entering this world. But over the time as children, as young adults, we would have owned the different skills to so able help us to become parents, not just bearers of children or planters of seedlings, but really to rear our children. Now, our lives would have contributed, the life that we were introduced to growing up would also greatly contribute to the way we will parent. But it's important, though, that however way you have been parenting your own children, it is the best way that you know how now. So we might not agree with the things that you do as a parent with your own child or children, but we will appreciate that whatever you do now, it is really the best you can do. Tonight, what we are saying is that there is no right or wrong way to parenting. And that is why I put to the end, I will keep learning. That is the exact clause that I want you to focus on throughout this session this afternoon. The fact that we are here in this session, yes, we are impeded to convene face to face physically in a room or in a nice little, place or hotel, ballroom or conference room. But we cause ourselves to be transposed here on the virtual platform just to connect with you as parents, just to impart to you, our best practices. It's not to force you to adopt, our way, but it is really a reflective hour for us to consider our own ways of parenting and adjust as time would allow us. So there's no right or wrong way. We're here to learn from each other. And it's very important that you declare these statements. If you wish, you can take a picture of this screen and remind yourself of at least one of these statements which should resonate with you upon leaving this afternoon. Now, allow me to pull apart these disclaimers. I want to zoom in further into these statements. We want to decipher what it is exactly, these statements mean to you, to me, to the person who is logged on here, to your neighbor, who probably is listening through your device, your spouses or your relatives. We want to look deeply into the statements that we just made. Now, the first statement you declared was, I am blessed with the gift of parenting. Now, my question is, what was your attitude initially, during or after the birth of your child or children? So let us have a conversation. What was your attitude? And when I say attitude, I'm talking about your thoughts, your opinions, your emotions, your behaviors. What were they? The moment you heard that you have impregnated a lady, maybe not your spouse legally, as we would consider marriage. What was your attitude when you discovered that you are pregnant? No, there is no specific context whether you were married or unmarried. We just want to focus this afternoon on what your attitude was at the time. Were you like this gentleman over here to my far left, dancing, gyrating? It's the best news that you've ever heard. Were you like Samuel Jackson? Look at his face, very angry. What? Me? Parenting at this time? No, sir. Was that your attitude? Look at that firm expression on his face. You must be crazy at this time? No, sir. Was that your attitude? Look at this gentleman running away, literally running, and we can imagine if we could go to the end of this Giphy here, he would be still running. Were you this parent who, having heard that you are about to become a parent, or during the process of, watching your child grow in the womb of that lady whom you would have impregnated, or mommy, watching your child, feeling your child grow in your womb? What was your attitude? Reflect with me as you are about to share, because I will be asking someone to share this afternoon. Now, after the birth of your child, how did you feel? What were your thoughts? What were the emotions that, that were evoked at the presence of your newborn baby? Look at this gentleman to my far right. He's saying, you sure? Me? I'm a father? Am I really a father? No, I specifically chose men, ladies, and I'm sure you must be wondering why are there so many men on this slide? No woman? Yes, it was very intentional. Sometimes when we talk about children, when we talk about child rearing, giving birth, we often zoom in a lot on the women. But how about the men on the platform this afternoon, this evening? How about the men? What were your expressions? Were you excited? Were you angry? Were you scared and feel like running away like this gentleman right here? How did you feel? Were you relieved? You got a shocker. For a moment, you were told that you're about to become a father, but then you were not ready. You didn't feel ready or comfortable with the very thought. And then after you were told that, it was an error. The pregnancy test really, it was faulty, the results. Did you feel relieved? Or having watched your wife or your spouse or girlfriend, go through the entire process of pregnancy. At the end of it, give birth to your son, your daughter, would be twins. Did you breathe a sigh of relief? So these emotions here can be read into differently. Were you happy about the news? Were you happy because you were not sure that you were able to become pregnant? What were your thoughts? Please share with us. You can also put it in the chat if you're not comfortable using your mics. I will take 2 comments over the mic. What were your thoughts? Please share with us. Anyone can take that quickly. What were your initial thoughts?
Very frustrated after realizing.
I see Mrs. Blair, happy.
Very frustrated.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Frustrated after realizing it was twins. Very frustrated.
I can imagine. Double the trouble. Were that your thoughts?
Yes, miss. Double trouble. Financial, physically.
Yes, I can imagine. So frustrating. It's a frustrating process, thinking that everything now has to be doubled. Everything. Double the efforts, double the responsibilities, double the finances, double everything, double the discipline. The provision, the guidance, everything double, except you in the process. Except you in the process. How did you feel though, the birth of your child or children? Do it for you. You had
well, after having them, it was a relief. And watching them into nice young men, then I, come around. I'm happy for them right now.
Right. Do you feel blessed? Having looked at them now, raising them, do you feel blessed?
Highly blessed.
Great. That's the purpose of this session, for you to reflect. I will take one more. I see a hand. Is that Miss Evans? Go ahead, Evans.
Just clapping, mommy. But I was excited.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Yes, we want to encourage Mom for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Mom, because we know that, in these settings, it's not quite easy, but for us to be real with our thoughts, it's important for us to connect or give some time. Sometimes what we are looking for as gifts really don't come in the package that we're looking for. But eventually when we would have opened up ourselves, our emotions, our thoughts and everything to it, we gradually learn that it's a blessing to have been blessed, being gifted with this particular gift. And this evening we're talking about our children. Now, when I move to the chat, I am seeing comments from Mrs. Blair. Happy, excited, beautiful. Thank you very much. Says, I am so happy after giving birth. I was so happy after birth. That I see Orville here, but it's clear that a lady speaking, a mother speaking. Yes, happy and relieved. I can imagine. Happy and relieved having given birth. Beautiful. Were there mixed emotions? Any worry? Was there any form of, anxiety in the process? You can go ahead and put it in the chat. Now, parents, it is important for us to own our thoughts or attitudes. We learn from them. We learn how to process them and appreciate that in the beginning we were scared. I can tell you that I was very much afraid, afraid of I believe that the process was good, bouncy, energetic, young mother. I was busy as a young teacher. I was busy on every trip, in every activity. It was a wonderful journey for myself and for my colleagues, just seeing me. I remember when I was maybe a week out to delivery, we had an excursion planned for cool. I think it was Cool Runnings. And they said, Riley, you're coming? And I said, yes, man, I come. They said, Riley, but you can't come like that. I said, of course I'm coming. Believe you me, parents, I was on that trip with my emergency bag with me, packed and ready to go. It was an interesting journey. Scared too, because of the process. When you hear of older women, persons more experienced, other mothers talk about their experience having given birth. I mean, it's a very scary process, especially everybody has their own experience, But I mean, when you tend to look on the negative side when you hear of delivery. So of course, a lot of excitement, but some amount of scare, nervousness. It all comes in and wraps. It wraps up in the gift of having, children, of being a parent. So there is no right or wrong way of feeling, right? Or behaviors too can be misinterpreted. Some persons are angry at the moment, like some grandparents, when they hear that you have 6, you have 5 already, you can barely manage, you have been 6, the 6th one. And by the time you deliver, grandma, grandpa, best grandchild. So persons tend to have mixed emotion about parenting. What I want to say to you this afternoon is that it doesn't matter what your emotions were. It doesn't matter what they are now. All you need to do is to embrace each day as it comes. You will not have a perfect journey. You will not feel up and about and high in your emotions. However, you must remain positive at all time in the process. Whether you are happy, excited, worried, scared, anxious, suspicious, wondering if that child is mine or not, angry, feeling relieved. It doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of emotions. Just embrace the gift of parenting. And when we look on our fellow, parents or fellow, citizens, some persons who cannot have children, we realize that we've been blessed to have our names called on a child, blessed to be able to bring forth these precious gifts into this world. So thank you for that reflection, parents. Now we want to look at how you have been doing as a parent. Now, remember now, you have answered the call to parenting, and there is no right or wrong way to parenting. I want to emphasize that the most this afternoon. I want that to resonate with you. There's no right or wrong way to parenting. What's interesting though, we all have different styles, different approaches to parenting. And we just want to explore some of those this afternoon. Now, we have 4 main categories of parenting styles, 4 major that we tend to refer to when we talk about parenting. We have the authoritative parenting style. We have the authoritarian parenting style, the permissive parenting style, and we have also the uninvolved parenting style. Now, some do fall on the more positive side of the spectrum, others on the negative side. What's important this afternoon is for us to really acknowledge where we are at, where we fall on the spectrum. This session is for us to reflect on our own ways of parenting. It might not be correct. It might not be similar to majority of the persons on the platform or to your neighbors or friends or family members, but it is your own way. Sure enough, we are willing to learn and correct. You have answered the call, and that is the most important. You have decided that seeing that you are a parent, you are going to parent your child. You have answered the call, and that's the most important. Now, as an authoritative parent, you have adopted this particular style. I do hope that I still have my parents here. You are the ones who create that positive environment for your child. You are the parent who fosters healthy two-way communication, that healthy relationship with your children. You enforce rules, but you are also warm and responsive. You are that parent who ensures that your child knows what you are expecting of him or her, that your expectations are not just one way, but you also engage your children to share what their expectations are with you. So if you are that kind of parent, you are what we would consider authoritative, supportive. You value the thoughts, the opinions, the feelings of your child. You engage your child throughout the process. So if you are setting a rule for your home, what goes on within the home, you're not that parent who comes and say, this is what I want, but rather you are the parent who will come and say, Mary, we have a few issues that we really want to look at as a family. We have to put things in place, and I have a few ideas. I will share them with you. But what do you think? Do you think these are things that we really need to cater to? Depending on the age of your children, you will have to engage them. Even, and it doesn't matter if they're very small too. You can say to them, you need to go to bed at this time. This is what I believe, right? What time do you want to go to your bed? And they'll tell you all time. But then you show them the reasons why they must go to bed at a particular time. So you guide the conversation. You allow them to share their thoughts, right? You process them. You provide the feedback, right? And then you negotiate where we meet, where you meet your child or children. So you're that parent who's considerate and supportive in the process and engaging. Now, on the flip side of that, we have the authoritarian parenting style. Now, in Jamaica, we like to tell persons what to do. We really love to give orders and dictate, and we want to see what we instruct is carried out. So we tend to be like that, that parent who said, do as I say and not as I do, I am the man of the house, or I am the woman of the house, and I'm me, your mother, right? You listen to me, right? We tend to have that kind of approach in parenting. And if you are like that, then you are what we consider the authoritarian parent, the parent who will hear what the child has to say. But at the end of the day, it is really what I want count, really. That parent whose expectation is very high, right? So you have high expectations for your children. You expect them to obey you in everything that you ask them to do. You don't want them to deviate at all. And if they do, the whip is the response. The slap is the response. And if you do not indulge in the slapping, then the verbal expressions, come as a result of the disobedience. So you're one such parent who decides to look at my way or the what? Let me hear somebody finish that for me. My way or the what?
No way.
Highway.
All right. My way or the highway. My way or no way at all. And we tend to be like that sometimes. We do adopt some of little characteristics of different parenting styles. So we're a little mixed. We blend sometimes. We integrate some of the approaches, but we really tend to dictate because it is somewhat easier for us as parents. And I do understand. If you're like that, you're an authoritarian parent. Now we're looking at how it is that you've been doing now that you've answered the call as a parent. Now, are you permissive? Are you that one parent who anything goes? Are you that one parent who does not really set a lot of rules? Some rules are in place, yes, like brush your teeth, comb your hair, bathe, clean up yourself, clean your shoes and that kind of thing. But are there real rules and expectations? Do you set those for your children? Do you ensure that the rules and the expectations are upheld? Do you ensure that they are agreed on? No. If you're a permissive parenting. You are the parent that anything goes. And sometimes we're like that. Sometimes we're like that where we do not have the time really to spend to guide our children each and every day, especially in these times when we are forced to operate against the norm, right? So we are the kind of parents who sometimes, notice I keep saying we, so I'm not leaving myself out of the process. So from time to time, we allow things to say, all right, we're going to eat the bag juice. All right, yes, man, you can have that. So rules aren't enforced as they really should, right? We tend to say, as this slide says, kids will be kids. Children will always be children. Children play a lot. That's children, picnic them. Are we that kind of parent? No, the uninvolved parenting. And I can tell you that some of us can find ourselves in this particular category simply because of the kind of work that we do. Especially as educators, we dream on being involved. We hope on being involved. We aspire to be involved, but sometimes we really are not involved. Are you that parent who you have little to no time to nurture, little to no time to guide, little to no time to give attention to the finer details, the things that are important, the things that interest your children? If you're that kind of parent, if you find that you're uninvolved, PTAs you can't go because of many reasons, reasons that are also logical, because, for example, a conference is being held right now and you have to be at work where you're not allowed to use device. So sometimes we do have a lot of issues, preventing our roles as parents, really going up against. We have issues that we must deal with, challenges that negate our duties as parents. So what we're saying here now, you will find yourself in a particular position, a particular category of parenting, a particular style of parenting. You may find that you do some of this and you do some of that, or more of this or more of that. Whatever you do as a parent, we have to bear in mind that our own approaches will impact how our children respond to life. Some of our children are highly dependent on guidance. Some are really independent from the, we always say them a woman from them born. Think him a man from him born. There are times when we do have some children who are like that, very much independent, very much know how to manage themselves. They regulate themselves very well. But then there are those who are highly dependent, who really need our attention. And if they don't get this, then they'll deviate to other sources of attention. They will lose the interest and impact in us as parents. And if they are provided an opportunity to just have their own way, they will, because of our own approaches. Whatever your approach is this afternoon, I encourage you to seek to adopt to the ones that will help your child or children to progress in this life in a meaningful way, in a way that they too can positively impact another generation. That generation who in time to come, you will call your grandchildren great-great-great-great-grand and great-great-great-great-grand for a very long time until time passed. All right? So how it is that you're doing, know that you have answered the call of parenting. Just some questions. What would you do? So now is where I want you to put in the chat quickly, as I wrap up. What would you do if your child used expletives to her teacher? Remember, we say there is no right or wrong way to parenting. You just have to keep learning. So what would you do now? If your child used expletives, curse a bad word, use a word that is inappropriate language, what would you do? Type it in the chat. If your child stole from you, what would you do? If your child showed or looked at others' private parts, God forbid, what would you do? If your child lied on you to the police, what would you do? If you caught your child watching pornography, what would you do? Thank you, Miss Maxine, for sharing your camera. What would you do? Consider yourself in the process. What would you do? There is no right or wrong way. Remember that. We are all learning in the process. Sure enough, these are some examples of different incidents that we can find ourselves responding to as parents. From time to time, we will react in ways that are appropriate, ways that are rational, but then there are other times when we behave quite irrationally, that really does not resolve the issues, but rather cause them to worsen. How or what would you do if you find yourself in one of these scenarios? What would you do? Put it in the chat. I would love to hear from you as we reflect this afternoon. And remember, the theme says positive parenting, impacting a generation. Positive parenting, impacting a generation. There is no right or wrong way to parenting. We are all learning together. Yes.
I'm not gonna say what I would do, but if these scenarios a child is acting out like that, there's something wrong in the home. You're saying there's no wrong or right way to parenting, but there are wrong ways in the home where students and our children are not being taken care of properly. So those are wrong ways of parenting. You neglect a child. That's a wrong way of parenting.
So you are saying if your child or a child in a home does one of these, acting
in these manners, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is going on in the home that needs attention. Because it means that the child needs attention and is seeking whatever way that child can. So they're going to act out in some of these ways.
All right. And can you appreciate that there are, with whom am I speaking?
Janelle,
very good. Can we appreciate that at times we do have all the right measures in place, but yet we do have children who do these things, who really do not have a basis at home?
Honestly, I can't agree with that one. Something has to be happening. Maybe you are not aware of it as the parent. You're trying your best as a parent to raise your child in the right way, but there's something going on that child is not sharing with you as a parent. So you think you're doing the best, but there's something going on. In order to act out or beat that child, you have to sit that child down. And if that child is comfortable with you as a parent, because sometimes we are so judgmental as parents, the child is afraid to come to us and speak to us about certain things.
Right. So you believe that in every matter, it points directly to the parents in the process and the way in which we parent our children.
Not in all cases, but as I said, you're trying your best as a parent, but there's something you're not seeing, that the child is being probably abused by someone else. And I said, speak of this topic right here. That is what when the child is doing some of these stuff right here.
Right.
There is bad parenting going on. Either the parents neglect, take work at their forefront and forget the child. Because yes, they're thinking about, I have to keep providing for my home. Yes, but remember, you have to provide for your child mental space also. You don't think about work, and then you neglect your child and thinking that, well, we have to work. That I'm a single parent, or the father is non-existent or whatever. You still have to find time for that child. But if you neglect your child, this is a wrong parenting.
Okay. So you categorize this for these specific scenarios. It must be
something must be going on. Yes.
The relationship between the parents and the children.
Yes, imagine your child telling the lie on it to the police.
Faulty.
Look at that. Your child tell your teacher expletives. No, man. Your child stole, but children like steal. Yeah, Penny do that. So when I go, let's not talk about that one per se.
Yes.
You catch your child look on pornography.
Yes.
Why? What's the curiosity? You need to find out. So when I learn at school, did somebody touch him or her? You know, leave all the boys them know, you know, because the boys them get touched too. Why this some interest of pornography? There must be somebody watching it. Or they hear about it and curiosity get the better of them.
True.
If you get a child, they must find things to do on the internet because the internet is so open to them now. You have to be careful. You have to turn like a matlock on them where the internet is concerned. Because these children, they are so advanced. You have to be careful with them.
So with I like the scenario that you paint right there. It could be that you send your child out. The child goes to school or is on the road, you know, coming home on the way back home in a taxi or a bus that usually transport them back and forth from home to school. Another student who is watching pornography, child looks at it, comes home and explores, and you know, possibly look at it too and bring the phone and show you. This might not have anything to do with you.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Some of these things right here, like teacher.
Some things, yes.
Yes, some of these stuff definitely have to go on in the home. Some definitely wrong go on in the home.
Okay. All right. We appreciate that though, Miss Thomas.
All right. Thank you.
I will agree to disagree to some.
All right, sure.
Right. And as you say, some.
Quickly?
Yes, quickly. One more comment. Thank you, Miss. That was Janelle Thomas. Janelle Thomas, thank you. Thank you for your comment.
All right. So I understand what the parent is saying, but I'm not totally in agreement with when she says that everything is coming from the home. Take in consideration, you have peers, the children have peers, and then they form peer pressures, right? So a parent can be growing up the child in the way they think the child should be growing. Then as the parents turn their back, or the child is at school, or the child is with some friends, then these things start to show up, because it's not everybody is gonna grab their children like, oh, they're supposed to grab. So when they meet up on other students or children that are a little bit on the looser side, then they will try to show them things, and they will try to tell them things, because I have that experience where somebody else coming, I'm not here, and friends, they would come, and when they take it out, they want to show like the kids blues, or they want to introduce them to other stuff on the internet and all of that stuff. So peer pressure have a lot to do with it. It's not all about the parents. The peers have a lot to do with it. We do with it as well.
Thank you very much. Who was that speaking?
All right, Caroline Bernard.
Thank you very much, Miss Bernard. Thank you for your comments. We know, and that is why we say parenting is really a learning process. It is a learning process. For you, you might not be responsible for every behavior that your child displays. You may very well be, but not at all times. And we have to learn to appreciate that. And if we don't, then what we do, we cave in when we realize that we are not able to resolve every issue surrounding our child or children. We find ourselves in depressive modes simply because we think that we should have all the correct answers to everything. Or if you don't, then you blame yourselves for not having the correct answers. So I thank you for your comments, both parents. I appreciate that. We agree to disagree. I will go to the chat quickly.
You're welcome, teacher.
Ms. Devonique says, exactly, you have some bad eggs in the school influencing the good eggs. No, we will not refer to our children as bad eggs, but I do understand. Someone says, I would take a deep breath, Galaxy. I would take a deep breath first and try to solve the problem. Sure enough, thank you for that. Sit them down and have a positive talk about right and wrong and allow them to apologize. I love this. Thank you, Mr. or Miss Campbell. Thank you for your comments, parents. And we're moving along quickly. So there are different ways in doing things. You might believe that your way is correct when it is wrong, and it is wrong because of my interpretation of what you do. So it really calls for us to discuss, agree to disagree, the ways in which that we believe is appropriate at this particular time. Or we may respond at a particular time may be correct for that time and for that context. But then at another time, in another context, it is not. So it leaves for us to negotiate what we do and when. Now, continuous learning as a parent speaks to us assessing our own parenting styles. So as a parent, as we go through this session, and after I am through, I want for us to take the moment to assess your own selves. Look at how you have been doing things. And having looked at what you do or what you have been doing, acknowledge your own ways, your own deficiencies, your own failures, your inability to do some things as a parent. That having assessed yourself and acknowledge where you are at, you are better able to talk to another trusted person, another parent who is doing somewhat better than you at parenting. Talk to a professional, because at times we really need professional help. And it behoves us now to really put away pride as a parent and acknowledge that, hey, I'm not doing so well at this at all. I am not doing well at this at all. I'm not asking you to compare yourselves at all times and to belittle yourself. But what you're asked to do is to reflect on you. When we engage in reflection, we see ourselves, we're able to take ourselves apart from the scenarios, examine the scenarios for what they are, integrate ourselves back into the scenario and see really how best we fit into the scenarios and how we would have responded or have responded to a particular situation. Keep learning. Keep learning means, parents, that you will always research ways in which you can parent your child or children. Or you can help your friend or family members to parent his or her child or children. Continuous researching gives us an opportunity to be exposed to new ideas, new approaches, new ways. And as you explore them, you apply them where necessary. And you look to see, you observe to see over time what successes you have reaped having implemented some of the strategies. Always seek guidance. Could be a professional, could be a psychologist, a therapist, family therapist, right? It could be your pastor, your pastor's wife. You know, it could be one member who doesn't have any accolades really, but somebody who really loves raising children. It takes a village, we always say, to raise a child. And we are still in the business of engaging the village. So I am here. I am only here because I'm one such resource person whom your able teachers would have identified to help to talk to you about parenting. It doesn't mean I'm an expert, and I most certainly am not an expert at parenting, but I do love and enjoy the gift, the responsibility of caring for my children, watching them grow, watching them evolve. And when they cry, I cry. When they laugh, I laugh. When they're scared, I'm scared too. But we learn and we enjoy the process as parents. Now you apply the new approaches, parents, as you go along. So as somebody, she provide new tips for you, then you apply them. Apply them to your own children, to yourself. It could be that the tips you would have learned here, especially here tonight, it's necessary for you. Having looked at the different parenting styles, do you see where it's possible that you need to, change some of the approaches? Engage your children some more, taking the time out. Probably you need to set a schedule, a time to meet with your children, similar to how you pencil out and you make an appointment to see the doctor, an appointment to speak with your friends, an appointment to speak with Madam Principal if you're a teacher here, an appointment to speak with your boss, just as how you make the time to also meet with your children, which is quite important. Join a parenting support group. That is important. Do not do it on your own. Sometimes as parents, we are failing miserably and we are afraid to acknowledge it. right? And if we do, we ask persons to not say anything. Don't tell anybody. But I can tell you, if you so engage yourself in a supportive environment that lends itself to impact you as a parent, to groom you as a parent, to upskill your abilities as a parent, then what you would find is a shoulder to lean on, a hand to hold you. Yes, someone to be beside you. That's important. You see, the godparent, although it's not biblical, the godparent tradition that we have, if we choose the right godparents, these are people to a support system that we can lean on to get that support that we need. Could be financially, could be mentally, emotionally, socially, could be the one person who will be able to give oversight, proper supervision to your child whilst it is that you are at work or to go on some business engagement. Do not keep yourself boxed in, locked away, thinking that you must do this on your own. And if you're not able to, then you're a failure. No. So change that mindset and allow yourself to grow as a parent. But you first must assess yourself and acknowledge where you're at. Look at the goods, look at the bad, look at what you've been doing, the positives and negatives, where you have reaped success and where you would have failed, and learn from them. Experiences, all our experiences help us to build hope, to have hope. And when we have this hope, we do well, better. We do far better at parenting another time around. It's exciting to raise me. That one statement speaks to you being a child. As a child, if you can remember all the things that you would have done as a child, I would have put some here, but you probably have way more experiences to share. That time would not allow us this afternoon. You can type it in the chat, some of the things that you would have done as a child. And I can tell you, parents, that we too have some experiences that we dare not think about, let alone to tell them to others, but rather we hold them dearly to our hearts. And we so ably try to prevent our children from doing the same things without echoing one syllable of what we would have done, all because of embarrassment. We were once a child, and now we have the opportunity to raise ourselves in our children. We play the games. They too need to play. And so it calls for us as parents to play with them, to share in every moment with them, to read the storybooks, to make the TikTok videos together, right? To do the fun activities, take the selfies, make the emojis, right? These are some, and now we're in the business of technology. If you notice, all of which I would have said speaks to technology. So we are no longer writing in any paper, sending any love letter, right? Persons, we are now virtual people, right? So some of the things that our children are engaged in, we have to be engaging too with them. Allow them to be children and enjoy. When you do so, you will enjoy looking at you, looking at how you evolved, right? And help them in the process to evolve, to become better versions of themselves and better version of your own self, right? So these are the stories. We enjoy the dopey stories, don't we? Enjoy the scary movies and some little tales that we often hear, right? Rolling calf, don't know if anything real and go like that, but they were exciting and we enjoyed listening to them. Do you have any exciting story that you would love to share with your child? Have you shared any? It's not too late. And as you do so, enjoy raising, watching yourself grow up again. Raise yourself in your child. See those things that you really wanted to accomplish as a child, and engage your child in some of them, or children in some of them. I can guarantee you that. But it first calls for us to make the time to engage them, right? We know we are operating in what we call the new norm, but after a while, it will become the norm. After a while, it will become the norm. Let us endeavor to give time to our children. Let them not grow antisocial, withdrawn. Let them not be delinquents in society, maladaptive, and be the next feature on JCF's most wanted. Let them not consider themselves less than any other child, nor better, but to see themselves as equal to any other child. So I am not preaching that you show your child or raise your child to believe that he or she is better than the other, but really that they are partners together in the process. Have fun, make life exciting for them, right? If it were not exciting for you, then you can make it exciting for them. Eat the cheese tricks and say, ew, Lord, mix it up in the ice cream and watch it water down. Simple things. And if you have older children, teenagers, have the discussions with them. Try out the outfits with them and look at yourself and laugh. And they say, no, mommy, don't put on that. Right? And you say, well, if I can't wear it, why are you wearing it? If it looks funny on me, don't you think it looks funny on you too? That kind of discussion. It's not hard, but it takes effort. Hug them. Falling in love with my children is the best thing I've ever done. Hug your child. Kiss them. Make it a routine for them. Every morning, at least, every night, if you can do that. If it is the only thing that you can do, promise yourself to do it, even if they don't want the hug. I have a little 5-year-old boy, and when I hug him each morning and night, he hugs me and he will turn his head like this. And I've been doing that for years now. And every morning, it was just night before last night, I said, no, Raphael, when you hug me, you must allow your head, your cheek to fall on my shoulder here. And I had to show him and demonstrate to him how I want the hug, right? And he laughed in the process. These are some simple things that we can do to connect with them. And in hugging them, you are connecting physically too. Most times our children only feel us physically when we're slapping them. Sad, but true. They only know only when we're giving them a big slap. And most times it's not even our hands. So we actually do not get the time to connect, hug them, kiss them, admire them. Stay afar off and look at them. Praise them. Give them the compliment that they truly deserve. When they do something correct, that is appropriate, when they achieve, sometimes too when they fail, say next time, hon, at least you enjoyed the process. You find the positives in life and compliment them. And as adults, as parents too, you will find that it helps you as a parent because you learn now to compliment even your very colleagues, your relatives, your friends. And oftentimes we find that it's very hard to do because we don't even take the time to compliment our own selves. Begin with your child. Praise them and reward them if you can. Reward them with a time together, a date with mommy, a date with daddy, just me and you time. No friends allowed, just you and I. Write them the love notes. Those are the love letters that you often send, those nice messages that you would text from time to time to your spouses during the days. Don't you think your child deserves a little love note too? A love message? A little love letter? Wouldn't you want to be the first to ever write your son or your daughter a love letter? Isn't that a nice idea? Wouldn't you want to set the bar so that your child or children know exactly what should be in a love letter, how they are to be respected and be talked about, how they are to be admired and be complimented, all the niceness that you give to your wife, your husband, your common law wife, your common law husband. Wouldn't you want to share those lovely thoughts with your child or children? And if you offend them, you're not too old enough to apologize. Try to do it verbally, the most. But also, if you can't bring yourself to that level, which is sad, you can also write. You can also write. If you can't read, draw them a picture to say that you are sorry. Video yourself. We're in the era and the business of technology. Video yourself and apologize. You're not too big. It's a part of parenting. Some person might say it makes us feel weak and it causes you to lose control, but not necessarily. When you would have apologized to your child, you would have raised and allowed your child or children to know that their feelings and opinions are important and that you value them to the point where you will see yourself worthy enough to acknowledge your own faults, right? And demonstrate that to them. In return, they will do the same. Now, as a Christian nation, we do not want to leave out praying with them. Pray with your children. Sometimes we're so busy and it's hard to keep a routine. It doesn't have to be routine either. Sometimes it will be quick and short. Sometimes it will be long and meditating. Just allow it to be real. Allow yourself to be genuine. Pray with them. If they have a wound, pray for it. If they're sick, pray for it and allow them to be themselves. Now I'm on my very final thought. I would like to engage you now with this little video. Now, as you go, I want for you to keep calm in the process. Don't be too jumpy. Do not be impulsive at all, but rather allow yourself to bask in the opportunity that you've been blessed with as a parent. Allow yourself to grow as a parent. Allow yourself to make the mistake as a parent. And when you would have made the mistakes and you've learned, then apply what you would have learned. Give yourself a fighting chance. Be your own parent. Teach yourself to become a parent in the process. Own your skill as a parent. Upskill it too as a parent. And you would appreciate the letter if this letter was written to you. Take the time to listen to this. At the end of it, I will express my gratitude. That's when you learn your parents are great. Now it's time to say thanks. Thank you for giving birth to me. For without you, my life wouldn't be. Thank you for all the times you tried to encourage me when I felt bad inside. Thank you for offering me advice. Thank you. The talks we share are always nice. Thank you for wanting to ensure that I always feel loved and secure. Thank you for showing me how to age with grace. Now I know it's something I can embrace. Thank you for the mistakes you made. The lessons I learned from them, I wouldn't trade. Thank you for pointing out that I am blessed. When my life causes me to feel depressed, thank you for helping me learn to forgive. It taught me a better way to live. Thank you for being there to hold my hand. Now I realize you were my biggest fan. Thank you for making me stand on my own 2 feet. It gave me the strength to overcome defeat. Thank you for taking the brunt of the blame for the problems I wasn't ready to claim. Thank you for keeping me in your heart when life sometimes pulled us apart. Thank you for wanting our love to expand. Now I understand. And your children will say, I love you. Parents, and for all those who would have stayed here, you could be representing someone because of their inability to be here. I want to say thank you on behalf of all the children of whom you are representing this afternoon. It was my pleasure being with you, and I trust that your evening was worthwhile, the minutes that we spent. God bless you.
Wow. Come on, parents. I want to see it in the chat. Go ahead and express your gratitude towards Mrs. Riley. Go ahead, parents. Go ahead, express your gratitude in the chat. We appreciate Miss Riley. And while you're doing so, I'll call Miss Saunders-Reed to express on behalf of all of us. Miss Saunders-Reed, give me a second.
Yes, Mrs. Evans.
Oh, give me a second, miss, please. Go ahead, Mrs. Saunders-Reed.
All right, Mrs. Evans. Parents, guardians, colleagues, students, good evening. It gives me great pleasure to deliver the votes of thanks for our grade 5 meeting to Mrs. Arlene Gordon Riley. She has spoken to us under the theme, Positive Parenting Impacting Generations. And she has reminded us that we do not know it all, but we have answered the call to parenting. Now she has given us some parenting styles with the authoritative parents creating positive relationships with our children. Mrs. Gordon Riley, we appreciate your company with us this evening. You have certainly enlightened us to be better parents, to assess ourselves and seek guidance. And of course, the word of God is our ultimate guide. Thanks again for coming this evening and sharing with us. And we want our parents and Mrs. Gordon Riley to look at our certificate of appreciation. It's presented to Mrs. Harleen Gordon Riley for outstanding presentation done in grade PTA meeting. Theme, Positive Parenting Impacting Generations. Held today, the 16th of November, 2021. And we just want to recognize our coordinator, Mrs. Evans, and our principal, Mrs. Suzette Barnes-Wilson. Thanks again, Mrs. Gordon, for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Reed. Quite appreciative of this certificate, and much more than that, appreciative of the fact that you took the time to participate. Thank you, parents. Thank you, Mrs. Barnes-Wilson and Mrs. Evans. Thank you.
You are most welcome, Mrs. Riley. We thank you for being here. Thank you, Ms. Saunders-Reed, for giving the thanks to Ms. Gordon Riley.
You're welcome.
At this time, we will be having parents. I know we have been here for a while, but it is worth the while because I was empowered as a parent to do better, to do some reflection. Yes, and as an educator, Miss Riley was saying sometimes we don't spend the quality time with our own children, and so I really do appreciate, and I was empowered today. I want to, parents, is your torch lit as yet? Come on, parents. Yes, man. I hope your torch is lit and you're ready now to run, right? Run with the torch to go do better, to improve, and to be the best parent that you can be. Thank you, Miss Gordon Riley. All right. At this time, and Miss Riley, in the chat, we have excellent presentation. Thank you, Miss Riley, for those powerful words. Outstanding presentation. Thank you. So the parents, they really do appreciate you. Thank you. At this time, parents, we are not going to be very long with you. We are going to be, our guidance counselor will be with us. She was with us, but she had to leave. So I'm going to go down to our assessment. We just want to update you on what our rather, we have one of our students with us, Miss Ocherius Primary School Heritage Queen. How could I ever pass that one on? Miss Devonique Phillips from grade 5 Coke. We welcome you, and at this time, she will be doing an item for our parents. Go ahead, Miss Heritage Queen, grade 5. Come on, parents, put your claps in the chat. We want to see those virtual claps for Devonique Phillips.
Devonique.
Devonique.
All right, Miss Evans. I am going to share the Devonique's presentation.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
I think you'd have to give me sharing access.
You do, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you already set it up for me. So you're seeing my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right, so we have big small one in order.
Hold on. Are we able to hear it?
No.
Not hearing. All right, let me. But you're seeing my screen, right?
Not seeing. We're seeing your
screen, sure.
Yes, we're seeing your screen, but not the video as yet.
Okay. All right, let's see this.
Mr. Coke, you want us to continue and then we'll put it in a little later? Mr. Coke?
Hold on, miss. Let me try again. All right.
Alrighty. We're not hearing it now, but we are seeing the video, but not hearing.
Are you hearing it now?
No.
All right. All right, you can move on and come back. Let me see if I can get my system started.
All right. Okay, parents, so after we will have our presentation for you by Devonique Phillip. We will put it a little later. All right, we will continue. Mr. Sterling.
Yes, miss. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Right. Mr. Sterling will be talking to us on support the wrong one.
Okay, but you're hearing it then.
That one.
All right. Oh, so I could go and share it nonetheless. All right.
You want to, no man, we want to give the parents that afterwards.
All right, no problem.
Yes.
All right, thank you, miss.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, parents, we have Mr. Sterling with us, and he will be talking to us about the assessment that our students must do. All right, go ahead, Mr. Sterling, over to you.
All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, parents. Good night, students who are on the live. It's my pleasure to speak to you on assessment. Everybody's seeing my video, right?
No.
Is everybody here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not the video.
Not seeing any video.
Not a video. Seen a picture.
I think Mr. Cope is still sharing.
All right, seeing me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Good night again. Sorry for these glitches. You know, technology tend to act up at times. Well, the privilege is mine to speak to you about assessment. First, I want you to understand the term assessment. It says assessment is the process of gathering and discussing information from multiple and diverse sources in order to develop a deep understanding of what students know, understand, and can do with their knowledge as a result of their educational experience. The process culminates when assessment results are used to improve subsequent learning. Now, you have various types of assessments, right? You have summative, you have formative assessment, you have diagnostic assessment, you have selective response assessment. Well, being that we have limited time, I'm not going to go in depth. I'll just tell you what each type of assessment is and what it does. All right. Then we'll speak about the weight which each assessment carries, like how much percentage and what your child should do or what your child should complete. All right, so for the summative assessment, this one is like end of year test or midterm test. Like one of the tests that they did couple of weeks ago, and that form of that summative assessment can also be a selective one because it was a multiple choice. Because the selective assessment is when you can either choose true or false, or you can circle A, B, C, or D. All right, and you'll get a point. The summative is usually done at the end of teaching or learning process. It can be after a term or at the end of the school year or even after a lesson, right? The formative assessment is done during the teaching learning process, right? So you have some of the questions that you may ask the students while you're teaching to find out, to understand to find out if they understand the concepts being taught, all right? And as I said earlier, the the selective is true or false and multiple choice. But I will not keep you long, all right? So assessment overall is what we use to find out if the child is learning or if our teaching methodology is working, because we have different teaching styles and we have different types of learners, right? But we only have one big test at the end of each term. But during the course of each term, you have like projects and you have courseworks which the students are supposed to complete. And these are usually written or oral assessments, right? So they include projects and term papers and even some essays. All right, now listen up, parents. Where the summative assessment is concerned, we have the end of year test, which carries a heavy weight. It carries 60% of your child's grade. So at the end of the school year, which is the school term, sorry, which is in December, you know, they'll be getting an end of term exam, and that exam is valid 60%, right? 60, it carries majority of the weight. While on the other hand, we have the projects. The project is marked out of 20, so it's 20 marks right there. 20 free marks, because projects, you know, you can help the child, you can assist them, because it's usually done at home, and you have a deadline, a very long deadline where you have a lot of time to do whichever project is given to them, because each subject will have to do a project, whether it's maths, language arts, or science, or social studies. Well, you know that science is usually technical because you have a STEM-based assessment there, where you have to create stuff, make models. But as I said earlier, the end of year test is 60%, because all of this is going to be marked out of 100, you know, right? So first and foremost, you secure your 20% by doing your coursework or the project, right? The other day, your child did a quiz or a mini test, right? For 10 marks. And if the child score full marks there, it's an easy 10 marks that the child secure. So if they complete that project, that is 20, right? And if they score full marks on that mini test, that is 10. So 10 and 20 is 30. Then they will be given another mini test or a pop quiz or whatever you want to call it. And that would be the selective assessment where they're going to be doing multiple choice again. All right. So if they secure that 40%, even if they may fall down in the exam, all right, they won't fall in the non-mastery or the near mastery area, right? Because near mastery, non-mastery is from 0 to 30, while on the other hand, near mastery is 31 to 49, right? And mastery is from 50 to 100. So when they get that 40 marks, right, it is easy for them when they're doing the exam. They don't have to do worrying. Even you, the parents, wouldn't have to worry about the child mastering that particular subject area. All right. So as I said, the summative assessment, which is the end of term test, right? This is done at the end of a learning. Is it done at the end of a class, the teaching learning activity in the class, or it is done at the end of a term, right? So parents, I'm imploring you, try and secure the 40 marks, right? So, and help your child to study and also help them to practice mathematics, because mathematics, it takes a lot of practice, very difficult for some students. And if you find that a child is very good at math, sometimes they tend to be weak in language arts, right? So help your child where they're weak and help them to secure 100 markers. 60 plus 40 is 100. And I know you like to see the A's, and I know you want to be proud of your boys and girls. Even us as teachers at the OTS Primary School want to be proud, because we want our statistics look very pretty at the end of the school year. All right, parents, I don't want to keep you long, because you know you come from work, and I know that the guest speaker, I know that it was a wonderful presentation, but I know that it was long, but I want to big her up. Kaboom, according to Miss Nunes. She did a kaboom performance, but I don't want to keep you long, so I'll just hand over back to Miss Evans. And I just want to thank you for staying on the live with us. And I want you to enjoy the rest of the evening. And I do hope that you understand what I was talking about concerning the assessment of your child.
Understand, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sterling. Kaboom. Thank you. So parents, easy 100 mark. Yes. Easy 100 mark. All right. Miss Saunders Reed, are you ready?
Yes, Mrs. Evans.
Yes. So Miss Saunders Reed will be talking to us just now about attire and punctuality. Come on, we are the kaboom parents. So guess what? We have to let our children come out kaboom. Go ahead, Miss Saunders Reed. Over to you.
All right. Good evening again, parents and everyone else. All right. I won't be long with you. Just a reminder, I will be speaking on attire and punctuality. All right. So I just want to remind parents of the dress code for our students. And that when we talk about attire, we want to include hair, grooming of the hair, and clothing. All right, so you know that the proper attire is having on uniform top. All right, and they're also allowed to wear the house top or club uniforms. And this week our clubs will be starting up, so I know that they'll be taking out the uniforms. All right, so we have students who are not being
Excuse me, so what about the students that are not in the area? Because my daughter is living in Montego.
Mommy, you will ask the questions afterwards. We just want to be short, so we have a question and answer section. So just write down your questions, parents, please. All right, so that she can just present and then afterwards.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're encouraging parents to have the children properly clad. We have been, and I'm not speaking for myself, I'm doing so on behalf of the grade 5 family. We have students in September who are not properly clad, and some are desirous of sharing their cameras, and then we're seeing them in marinas. I believe we have spoken to our parents about that before. And we do understand that sometimes they're not at home, but wherever they go, just as how we would expect them to take their resources with them, their books and their pencils, we also expect them to take the uniform top so that they can be properly clad. Now, some students shy away from participating in class because they know that they are not properly attired. And so we encourage our students to just be prepared for class in every way possible. And your what you have on is a part of that preparation. All right. And on punctuality, we start school at 8, and some teachers may even open the classroom 10 minutes to 8, 15 minutes to 8. And so we are expecting students to be on time. All right. And not a week goes by when a parent doesn't call to ask if school is opening on Monday or when is school reopening. And so we don't want our children to be relaxed and not prepared to be at school on time. And so we want you to practice the same for online classes. Be at school on time, all right? Or you can come on 10 minutes to 8. You can read, we play music. They can listen until we're ready to start officially at 8 o'clock. But we want them to be on time. Some students are coming to school at 10 o'clock, after 10, when you have a session that is already finished. And also, we have our afternoon classes that some students don't attend at all. And so we want parents to be abreast. We want you to just keep in contact with your children. We know that some persons have gone back out to work, but you can plan different strategies to keep up with them, just to make sure that they are in class. All right. Another thing on attire. I heard our guidance counselor speaking to our students the other day about the pictures that they have showing. So some may not want to show themselves, and that is all right, but get a proper picture to show. We have some things that we're seeing, and it can be very distracting to other students. We as the adult, we can overlook it, but we know the psychology, and we know that it will be distracting to other students. And so we ask them to show a proper picture of self. They're encouraged to get a picture of themselves in uniform. All right, or even if they don't want to show themselves, just show at the top, face. All right, so we encourage parents. As I said, I'm not going to be long with you, but it's a reminder just to have them properly attired and to make sure that they are being punctual for school. All right, Mrs. Evans.
Right, thank you, Mrs. Saunders-Reed. Thank you. Thank you. All right, parents, we will take your questions afterwards. Don't worry, we will accommodate all questions afterwards. I see your question, Motor G. I will be answering that question. All right, thank you, Ms. Saunders-Reed. Mr. Coke, are you ready for us? We want the parents to relax a little. We want to see what Miss Phillips has for us. We are excited, you know, it's our Miss Heritage.
Yes,
Parents.
Miss, I
Yes.
think I'm ready now.
Yes, okay, over to you, Mr. Coke.
All right. Let me just share this screen. All right, so let me just see something here. One last thing. Oh man. Okay. So you're seeing the screen now? Just
Yes,
want to make
sir.
sure. All right.
Hello everyone, I dedicate this poem to all you parents called Never Mind Our Complaints by Devanique. 9 months, 274 days. We didn't give you much of a choice, but you still brought us all the way. You nurtured and protected us, you taught us with great care. Our first teachers, our first leaders, were always there, even the way. You're always by our side, guiding our steps, line by line. Guide with a passion, your wisdom, and true love. Even though we always give you a fight, we love you both, and we know you love us too. So this I say, never mind our complaints.
Yeah, civilian Josh, it's one thing like sugar. You're the next plan, drive to the set. Yep, like sugar.
Wait, and never mind the times we took care of the left. Cause if you look into my little heart, you'll see the special place you hold there and what what words can't explain. That even in our old age, we will brag and boast about you for a special one. I don't think we won't still annoy you to the end. Thank you.
Come on, parents. Only for you, only for you. Yes, Javier, I see you applauding, yes, yes. Thank you, Devonique, for our parents. And parents, we have them coming double for your trouble. All right, go ahead, Mr. Coke.
All right. Oh, let me start from the.
Another season we leave behind. Another story that's got me blind. Got only you on my mind. I couldn't face what I couldn't find. Just need to know I need peace of mind. Where are you now? Even though I won't believe it, the truth is alive, we are healing. Even though words are deceiving, you move on. 'Cause every time I try, yeah, every time I dream, there's always this big part of me wanna believe in what I see. If you can make me smile, if only for a while. There's always this big part of me wanna believe in what I see. Believe in you and me. I'm all alone down the steady road, just full of thoughts about to explode. Facing the night. Even though I won't believe it, the truth is a light, we are healing. Even though words are deceiving, you move on. 'Cause every time I try, yeah, every time I dream, there's always this big part of me wanna believe in what I see. If you can make me smile, if only for a while. There's always this big part of me wanna believe in what I see. Believe in you and me. I gotta get away from here. I gotta get it through my head that even though I lost, I'll find something better. I'm running all around this town. This feeling has me stepping down. But I don't wanna have to wait too much longer. 'Cause every time I try, yeah, every time I dream, there's always this big part of me wanna believe in what I see. If you can make me smile, if only for a
All right, so that is it.
Wow, parents, we celebrate you. We celebrate you and we thank you for being here tonight with us. We celebrate you, and that was just a little token highlighting you, spending time. Our devotion started with time. Our principal's remarks, time. Our guest presenter spoke about time, spending time, and I learned that time can be spelled Love can be spelled T-I-M-E. And at this time, I'm seeing Counselor Davis on, and we're going to allow her, and then we go into the question and answer. Parents, we appreciate you. Go ahead, Miss Davis.
Evening, parents. Good evening. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. I love those photographs. Yes. And I see that you're all involved in your children's life. I just want to say ditto to the guest speaker, because what she would have shared, you know, some of those I would have been engaging our students in our guidance session. And so too, the tip that Mrs. Saunders Reed would have given, read the children, coming online, dressing appropriately, and also if they are not feeling the feeling at the time to turn their cameras on, they ensure that the photograph that they're using is representing what they look like. Parents, we are having issues where children are stealing identity, and they're going in classes and they're doing things that we don't want. And so we're going to ask that you monitor them, monitor the devices that they're using. And you know, if you need help in getting things done, we are here. Counseling office is open. You can always make contact with your teacher and also your guidance counselor. Be their best friend. Talk to them, have time. I know that it is hard, and most of you would have more than one child. What I'm going to ask is that you make time for each and every one of them. Make a schedule. Today for Tom, tomorrow for John, the next day is for Mary. Do that so everyone will feel appreciated. They will feel love, and they will know that, okay, this is my time and mommy time, or my time and daddy time. It's hard. Most of you are single parents, but I want to tell you that God saw it fit for you to be the parent. And so he gave the gift to you to walk with until he's ready to take back his gift. So until then, parents, I'm going to ask that you continue to do the marvelous work that you're doing. Continue to trust in God. And as I always said, none of them come to us with a manual. None. So whenever time it get rough, just consult the maker of the product in whom you are entrusted with. I'm going to ask two parents that you try and be involved in their school lives. It is difficult for them online. I can tell you because I am a parent and I have two of them in school, and it's chaotic sometime in the house when all of us have to be online. But guess what? I have to make the time for them. So I'm going to ask that you do so. And again, if you need help, seek help. Don't sit down and think that you can do it all by yourself. Don't sit back and think that, you know what, this is a one-man band and I can raise my child on my own. No, it takes a village to raise a child. And if you need the additional assistance when time gets rough, you ought to go out there. And Ocheres Primary School, the teachers are there for you, the counselors are there for you. And bear in mind, if at any point in time the counselors are unable to touch base with your issue, we will seek help outside, because we need to know that our parents are comfortable, and so too the babies that they lend to us 90% of the time, because they stay with us most of the time. So until then, parents, keep sweet. God bless you all. Love your kids. Kiss them up for me. And I always tell them I love you. Take care. God bless you all. And we'll talk again another time. Over to you, Mrs. Evans.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown Davis, our guidance counselor. We can always call on her. So parents, she's right. She's here for us, all of us, all of us. Before we go into the questioning section, I just want to leave a little quote with you I find very interesting by Matthew Jacobson. And it says, behind every young child who believes in himself or herself is a parent who believed first. And so parents, The reason why you are on this long is because you believe in your children and you want them to be the best you, as our presenter said. And so parents, here we are now at the questioning section. Go ahead, ask your questions. You can put them in the chat or raise your hand. We will identify you. All right, so the first one that we saw earlier, the parent was asking about the child being in Montego Bay and not in Ocho Rios area without the uniform. You are allowed to let the child wear a white top. The child can wear a white top. All right, we don't want to see the spaghetti straps. We don't want to see the marina. All right, parents, so just remember that we are on the online platform and sometimes we do video our lessons and they want to share. They're eager to learn. They're eager to learn and they want to share. Some of them want to turn their cameras on and they want to share, but because of how they're attired, they sometimes are afraid to do so. All right. I see Galaxy A10S. Go ahead.
Not really a question, but I just want to commend my grade 5 teachers. I have 4 of them. I have Mr. Coke, I have Mr. Sterling, I have Miss Saunders Reed, and I have Miss Harrison. And I just want to commend them on their work that they've been doing and the teaching that, you know, try to get the children focused and all of that. So I talk to them and keep doing the work, especially Mr. Sterling. Every time he's in class, I have to laugh. I like the way we drag the children. They want to see the homework. They have to present their homework before they left class and all of those little stuff. Mr. Coke as well. All of them, no joking. And one concern though, I want to emphasize that teachers, when they give the work, like they work, homework, to mark, make sure they are marked, because without the work being marked, then the student won't know where they haven't gone wrong or whatever they're doing is not right. So you understand? So giving all the work and not marking them is, I don't think that is fair. The student need to know what they do is right from what they're doing wrong. All right. So that's up to my grade 5 teachers.
Thank you, Mommy. Thank you so much for that. Grade 5 Eagles, big up yourself. Kaboom! Dynamite. And also, you are so correct. The children need feedback. They need to know what is going on. For some teachers, I know they may not mark them in the Google Classroom, but what they do, they try to find 10 minutes out of the next class to mark the work with the children. While they are present with them, they go through and the children mark. All right, so the children should have that mark in their book. I see our principal's hand. Go ahead, Mrs. Wilson. Mrs. Wilson, Mrs. Barnes-Wilson.
Yes.
Prime. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Evans. Just to highlight, I think a question, somebody mentioned something. Online school is school. So you are highlighting the fact of the deportment, how you are to dress. Online school is school. If you don't allow the children to feel as if they are at school now, then they will not get that feeling. So we want them to understand that they ought to wear their uniform. Those who don't have, understand that. However, let them wear what was prescribed. The uniform, the PE uniform, yes. The Mrs. Saunders Reed had mentioned the house color uniform or the t-shirt, but we want them to get that feeling that it is school. It's not just being at home in your regular yard clothes. Get them that sense of feeling that I am at school, and that will impact the mental too as it comes on to learning. All right, thanks, Mrs. Evans.
You are welcome, Miss. Thank you, Mrs. Barnes-Wilson, for that. And as she was saying, not only the uniform, Miss Saunders Reed rightly said the combing of the hair, the grooming of the hair. Yes, we have to let their hair comb properly some of them come online and their hair is all over the place. And so and they really want to share. So yes, parents, I have a parent who asked me today, when is school going to open? And I did not understand the question. And so I had to ask the parent, what does that question mean? Because we are, as far as I am concerned, school has been open from September 6th. And then she said for face-to-face. Parents, we know we are awaiting the face-to-face because our children are not liking the online, but we have to make use of it from now. Just make the best use possible. Encourage them along. Encourage them along. Any other question, parents? Any other question? Go ahead, Mrs. Wilson.
So, Mrs. Evans, I'm actually on the road. Face to face, we don't know when we will be for face to face because our school is a large school, and so we are not given that opportunity. We're not sure if January if we'll get that, but school, as Miss said, we have school. School started from the 6th of September, and we don't know. So we have to work with what we know and what we have now, and do the best that we can with the online school. It's called remote learning. And so far we are going on well, but we want more from you. Thanks, Mrs. Evans.
Thank you, Madam Principal. All right, I see here, yes, big up to Mr. Cook and Mr. Sterling. They're the real deal. Couldn't have asked for better. Yes, Mr. Cook and Mr. Sterling, you have it locked. I must say a big thank you to Mrs. Nunes and Mrs. Evans. Oh, yes, for the great job they do daily. I really appreciate you, teachers. You are indeed the best. This is Ocho Rios Primary School. Best parents, best students, best teachers. Kaboom! Any other question? Any other question? Come on, parents. All right, everybody is okay. All right, Miss Nunes said, my pleasure, kaboom. Very good. All right, Miss, no other question? Miss Bennett? Miss Bennett is here. All right, Miss Bennett will do the vote of thanks and then take us out.
All right, and so we've had a full afternoon into evening, and we are grateful. First and foremost, I must say thanks to the Lord Jesus Christ for all that he has done for us. He's allowed us to go through this entire meeting, and we've discussed issues, we've learned stuff, and we've relearned other stuff. And we give him thanks for his grace and mercy in allowing us to be here and to have garnered so many benefits throughout the evening. Thanks to our parents who made it out, to our students. You made the time. I know it's after 7 to 8 o'clock now and you're still here. And we want to applaud you for your efforts. This is all in the interest of your children or of your child. And we want to say thanks to every parent who made it out. To our guest speaker, Mrs. Riley. Thank you, Mrs. Riley, for the excellent effort you have made. I'm sure our parents were impacted, and we want to say thank you for all that you have done. We would like to say thank you to our administration, our principals, vice principals, for all that they have done in contributing to thank you, Mrs. Barnes Wilson, who is still online with us. And thank you to our VPs who have contributed to our meeting in some way or form. To our guidance counselor, Mrs. Brown Davis, who provided her input. We want to say thanks to you, ma'am, and we pray that you will continue to offer your services all in the development of our grade. To our coordinator, Mrs. Debian Evans, who has worked relentlessly in putting all of this together, along with our hard working and dedicated teachers of grade 5. I pause to big all of you up this evening. You have played your part, and to God be the glory. We had a successful meeting because of your contribution. Thank you to all our grade 5 teachers. Thank you to our grade 5 students and parents. Thank you to our administrative team. Thank you, Mrs. Gordon Riley. Thank you to the Lord Jesus Christ. I hope I did not leave anyone out. Thank you all for the role you have played for a successful evening. God bless you, and we pray that the Lord will continue to be with you in Jesus' name.
Mrs. Johnson, Registry Johnson.
Oh my God, to Mrs. Johnson, Councillor Johnson, who
Yes.
has provided for us
Certificate, yes.
that lovely token and certificate to our guest speaker. Well done, put together, awesomely done, and she was willing to do it. She even asked if there's anything else that she could have done. And so we want to thank her for her relentless effort in doing and executing such a wonderful certificate. Thank you to everyone. Have I left out anyone, Mrs. Evans?
Devonique, our
oh my
Kaboom
God, to our Miss
student.
Culture.
Yes.
What is primary Miss Culture, Miss Heritage. We want to thank you for the effort that she has made, Devonique. Excellent job to your mom who helped you in preparing it, or your dad, whoever contributed in allowing you to perform at your best this afternoon. And so we were able to see it. To the parents who contributed your videos to our presentation, that sweet package was just for you, and we hope that it was a surprise to you this evening when you saw your picture there on screen with your child. Big up Devani, big up to her mommy as well, coming from your teacher, Mr. Cook, and all of us at grade 5. All righty. Am I leaving out anyone, Mrs. Evans?
No. Everybody, thank you.
Okay, great. I'm glad I captured everybody. Thank you all. We accept your suggestions, and by the grace of God, we will move forward and step ahead as we all work to develop our students. You may now play our anthem, Mrs. Evans, online, and we
I
will
was
salute.
expecting you to sing.
Oh Lord, I'm not in the capacity to.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defenders, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to change. Give us visions lest we perish. Knowledge centers, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
Okay, parents, we thank you for being here with us. All right. Have a good rest of the evening, parents. God bless you all.